crazy mother.
What it do, soul visionaries and potential soul visionaries out there. I am your host, Gerard Corner. You are now rocking with the mobile version of the Soul Vision POWERCAST. You know that place where we keep it unfiltered and raw. We talk about anything from porn to politics. We'll even talk about the things you might have heard or even saw. Now, I want to talk about perspective. You know, how we see things. And you know, when you peruse the internet, you see many different perspectives on things. You see, you know, how men and women see things, black and white folks see things, different races, how we see the world. We see the world differently, rich, poor. Everybody sees everything differently. You know, from one person to the next. You know, you can have two siblings grow up together in the same house, and then they'll have different experiences on how they were raised, right? So perspective, you know, but I think at the end of the day, as long as that perspective is not so distorted and skewed, you know, to where it's a fallacy, you know, I think we should respect each other's perspective. You know, I like this. I love the back and forth between the Kendrick camp and the Drake camp. I love that. I love watching the two perspectives on how things went, how they're going now, and this and that and the other. And the funny thing about it is just listening to the whole, you know, the Iceman drop. Okay, good. I'm glad you Drake folks got y'all music. Y'all, you know, it's been a whole bunch of mixed reviews, and that's not from just the casual listener or Kendrick fans. That's from Drake fans. Drake fans are mixed on it. I can see where a lot of them are trying to force themselves to digest 43 songs that are not great. You know, you got the academics out there and shit like that. You have him, Joe Budden. You know, it's all the folks that were screaming about Drake and him disappearing and all this other garbage. But the thing is how we see the world differently. You know, now they see it as, oh man, look at this. Kendrick Lamar is, you know, the dot era is over with. It's over with for him. He's, you know, it's the Iceman era. You know, and the funny thing is they're acting as if Kendrick is still competing, and low key he may be. But right now, man hasn't said a word. And the funny thing is when you take the worst L in history of L's, you have to do. He's doing any and everything he can to get this man to pop back out to give him another shot at the title. Bruh, it's over with. It's over with. You know, I see where this man has gotten over the little battle. He got his label started. He's put out his first artist. This man is off and moving in another direction, and you're still trying to get somebody to play word games with you. You know, you're still coming with the short jokes. You're regurgitating the same thing over and over again. It took you 2 fucking years to say these things. 2 years to say this. And it's like, yeah, bro, it's too late. I mean, when you drop that sorry ass Heart Part 6, the battle was over with. Then Kendrick went on his historic run. And the funny thing is how people perceive Kendrick Lamar. You know, this man is highly decorated. Grammys, most for any rapper. Pulitzer Prize. No other rapper has that. You know, brand deals, own label. I mean, this man gives back to his community. He's in. It's so much shit that he does and he's doing, and he's not out here bragging about it on, you know. But then you guys want to talk about we sold the most. as you can see, selling the most records don't mean you're the best. You know? And, you know, like Drake doesn't submit his music for Grammys, and that's what they say. I mean, after you lost so many times, you probably would become, you know, a little bit frustrated with the process. You know, he probably thinks, hey, I sold the most records. But it's about whose records made the biggest impact. And another thing that bothers me when it comes to perspective and how we see things. I'm a grown man. I'm not looking for the young bitches as these dudes online are saying. I'm not looking for them to be outside, right? And maybe that's why so many of them defended Drake against this pedophile accusation. Maybe because a lot of them like the young girls. Maybe because they like, you know, dealing with the barely legal, you know, teenagers and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Because for grown men in their 30s, 40s, 50s, talking about, well, you know what? The 30s but the 40s and 50s, and y'all talking about the club and getting the young chicks at the club, and, you know, the women out shaking their ass. And at some point, man, y'all need to sit y'all asses down, man, and grow up. Because the perspective is that from their perspective, life is boring without young chicks out there shaking their asses. Because that's the only thing they talk about Drake. You know, he keep the party lit. Brothers, before Drake, motherfuckers was partying. After Drake, they'll be partying. With or without y'all too. The party will always be the party. The one thing that I've always been told, and that I tell any young person, the party is always going to be an opportunity to party. It's not going to always be an opportunity to make the best of yourself and seize those opportunities, because opportunities are not always there if you're not able to create them. So spend your time, you know, seizing the moments and taking advantage of those opportunities. And partying is going to be there. Don't worry about the party. The party is going to be there. The party is never going to die. Hell, the party been around forever. Young folks, fuck the party. Do whatever you can right now at this moment to take steps towards becoming the best version of yourself that you could possibly be. I'm not saying don't have fun. I'm not saying don't go to a party here and there. Just don't make entertaining yourself the priority of your life instead of educating yourself to make you have a better life. You know, man, I'm shocked at the older men out here, man, really defending Drake and his actions. I'm in hip hop heads. I'm really shocked. It's like, you know, nobody's found his daughter. Damn the daughter accusation. I don't care. I don't give a damn about that, because I'm gonna be honest with you. Any man that's been a player in the game, then ran through some females, there's a possibility you may have a kid out there that you don't know nothing about, because hey, a lot of women sleep around too, and they don't know who the dad is. So you never know. So we can just wash that one away. We're talking about this dude messing with young girls, you know, hanging around young girls, and all of a sudden he be banging them out. Following high school kids. These accusations, and we talk about this time and time again, it's like, I guess these people really don't care. It's just they want to keep the party lit. They don't care that this man does these things. Wow. It's interesting. Grown men waiting for the chicks to come outside, bro. You shouldn't have to have the young girls come outside. You should have a woman already that you're with. But hey, to each his own. You know, I'm not here to tell you how to live your life, man. I'm just giving you my perspective on things. Brothers and sisters out there, yo, it's 2026. We still in the mix. We gonna rise and fly.